So when we're offering the arti or different items, generally they're offered through or they have to be offered through Guru. That is the process of offering. I asked Prabhupada one time, what does it mean when it said that there is an asana, this asana is for the Guru, and the Guru is competent to offer everything to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Madhya Lila 9, chapter 24, in that long purport of the 64 items to offer to the deity. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, this is, when you're offering foodstuffs, he says you have a picture of Guru on the altar and you put the foodstuffs before the picture, and Guru, he will offer to his Guru, and he will offer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he will offer to Radha and Krishna. And like this it will be offered. This is the system, he said, Guru Parampara. So that is the system of our worship. The method of worship and prayer is by going through the parampara, or going through our authority, not directly. So then one may say, well, what does one actually do if you are simply offering to Guru, and Guru is actually it's being carried through to Radha and Krishna or Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Then what does one actually do in procedure? So the idea is that we're offering, we're trying to offer our devotion to Guru, and when we're offering all these different items, it's more of an expression that Guru, please accept this offering of our devotion, of our love that we want to express to Krishna. And so this is what we're trying to carry through the parampara to Krishna. This is what Krishna wants, and this is what Guru wants actually. This is what Krishna is trying to extract from us. Our attraction and attachment to Krishna. And he wants again to engage that and offer it to Krishna. So this is the stage we're trying to come to. So it's expressed through all of these different rules and regulations and all these different paraphernalia. So that is actually the standard. The standard of deity worship is devotion. Well, somebody told me, one of my authorities told me a long time ago, he said the standard of your deity worship, it should be that when people come to take darshan, they faint. So one time it happened actually. Only one time I saw. Well, the woman actually, she looked and it wasn't forced, but you could see she was completely overwhelmed. She just sunk down to the ground and she actually fainted. So that is perfection, when everybody does that. So, of course, it's not just that we want to express our mood and that's all to the deity, but actually we have a very big preaching. So we do externally so much service is going on to attract everyone to Krishna. Because for us, deity worship in ISKCON temples means attracting people, somehow or another attract people to Krishna. So Prabhupada said that, especially in India, he said, people will be very much attracted to our deity worship, the style that ISKCON has developed. It's a superior style actually to the regular standard in India. ISKCON is something new. And we've seen also quite practically, since we've been in Mayapur, how the Gaudiya Mathas have absolutely lifted up their standard a lot. Before they would dress the deities, I don't know how often, but they would have the same dress on every day, and they would never have flower garlands. It was dusty inside if you ever went into this dusty. But now you see the standard is good. They change their dresses frequently. They wear flower garlands. This we can accredit to actually Prabhupada and ISKCON. He's pushed up the standard. And he wanted us to have a good standard. There's a temple in Kanpur, and Prabhupada said, you should go and you should learn from this temple. And this temple is a complete hodgepodge. It's all demigods and everyone's on the altar. Philosophically, it's completely off. But the standard is so good that that's what he was seeing. He was seeing how the deities were all, it was so clean in there, and the deities were always dressed freshly. And the offerings, everything was coming, it was nice. The service was very nice. That was what he saw. And he actually said, you should see that temple. Although it's completely, it's just a Hindu temple. All the demigods, everyone was there on the altar. So he wanted something nice for ISKCON, but also he set standards like Radharaman temple, you can learn from Radharaman, or Radha Govindaji's temple. So he wanted something very special to present. So this is our goal, is to present something very special, is that everybody comes and they get so much inspiration from seeing the deity. And practically speaking, it's a source of life for the devotees. It is a source of life, because can you imagine if we didn't have deities in ISKCON and everybody, you've got to get up at 4 o'clock and go to Mangalati, there's no deities, and it's just Harinam, which is great, but you just couldn't imagine it, and I probably wouldn't want to get out of bed if it's to go. But when Krishna is there, it's Krishna. You want to go and see Krishna, and every day is different, and it's a great source of inspiration. And Prabhupada always quoted the deities out there. So kind, the deity is so kind. Krishna's come like this, so we can actually see, we can offer service. And because Krishna, the deity gives you direct inspiration. There are many instances in the Chaitanyatamrita and other literatures. I remember in 1972, there was one Rohini Nand. We joined about the same time. He was in Calcutta. He was actually, his father was a friend of Prabhupada's, and he had about 4 sons. And Prabhupada went to see him one time. And he said, give me one of your sons. He said, no, I don't want to give. He said, I will take one of yours. And later on, actually, one of his sons did come. And he initiated him. But just before the initiation, he wrote to Prabhupada, because we were like close friends. And he said he just doesn't feel like it may not be for him, that he was thinking he should go back to his home and things like that. And Prabhupada gave him an instruction. He said, just go and sit in front of the deity. Just sit down and look at the deity and chant Hare Krishna, and chant your rounds in front of him. He said, that's all you have to do. You do that. And Krishna, he said, will give you so much inspiration. You'll forget all this other thing about going back home. So the deity is very inspiring for the devotee, for everyone, but especially for the devotees. Everybody comes and they pay obeisance to the deity. All the pilgrims, they're all coming. And the deity reciprocates with the pilgrims. Generally they have the saligram on the altar. That saligram, generally in the deity, in the temple, that saligram should be Janardana or Narayan. Because Janardana is the Lord of the heart. So they generally have a Janardana saligram, or Narayan he is in the heart. So when the pilgrims come and they see and make their prayers, generally it's for material benefit, dedictions or something like that. But anyway, the Lord of their heart is there. He knows their heart and He's there also. So because they've made a special endeavor to come to the temple to see the deity and they've gone out of their way, then He will reciprocate. Already is in the heart, but when they make a special endeavor, then He's much more munificent. That, oh, you've come to my home to see me and you've asked me for anything. Then it's my duty to give more revenue. And then He bestows His blessings upon the pilgrims. So, Pujaris, his service is obviously making the deity room very nice, the deity is very attractive. And also he should, ideally, a pujari should he should actually dedicate his life to serving the deity. If he's given that service, or whether he chooses voluntary to do that service, or if he's asked to do it by temple authorities, actually at that time he should say, all right, I'm prepared for the rest of my life to serve you, my Lord. And I will not make any complaint, I will not make any demands from you. And have that attitude rather than, I'll try it for a little while, or I'll see what it's like, or alright, I'll do it as a service, my temple authorities are just doing it as a service. But you're going to do it anyway, you see. So, better to approach in the mood that, because generally, as you know, you never remain in one service for very long, you're moved around in different positions. So, somehow or another, you're in that position, and so you accept that position. And you think, this is my whole life now, I'm dedicating my life to serving you. And you actually maintain that. Then this satisfies the deity. If he's got someone there who he relates to, rather than have different pujari coming every day and a different, that he knows there's someone there, who's actually cares for the deity. That person who actually cares for the deity, he's actually the head pujari. It's not simply a position, but that person who is actually caring for the deity. If something or somebody doesn't show up, then he's prepared to do it. Otherwise, if it just becomes a service, well, it's not my service, or I've got to do this, I've got to do that. You've got so many other things to do. So it's better to have that attitude that, it becomes very much in a parental ras. Like the parent and the children. The mother never says no to the child. The mother never says, no, I can't, I haven't got time for you, child. And the child is always making different demands. He never knows what he's going to say or do from one minute to the next. So like that, we have that kind of attitude, and also that mood will naturally develop, because you wake the deity up in the morning, you feed the deity, and put the deity to rest. It's just like a child actually for a pujari. You experience it. So already we're doing it as pujaris, so we just have to have a complete attitude towards it also, and give up, it's just my service, or I'm just doing it for just a part-time thing. But no, Krishna, as long as I'm here, I will, whatever you need, I will try to do. And it gets to that stage that actually they're like children, and just like the mother, she doesn't, the kids make a mess, they make a noise. What does she do? She just starts cleaning up everything. The whole time actually, she's just cleaning up after the children have just made a mess and done what they want. She never says anything about the kids. So similarly like that, we have that attitude also to the other pujaris. Sometimes they don't, well, it's not my service, I can't do this, it's his service. So we can actually lose that attitude. We say, oh, it's Krishna's paraphernalia, it needs to be done, someone didn't come. So you just do it in a good heart. You can learn to see your deity in everything like that. It's your deity's paraphernalia. So then you wash it and you put it away. And like that you're caring. Otherwise you may simply criticize, oh, that pujari didn't come. So you've got to... What happens? You're spending a part of your life criticizing some pujari not doing anything. On the other hand, you could have been doing something very favorable for Krishna consciousness. So if you can try and adopt that attitude of, that, now I'm yours, Krishna, I belong to you, it's my service to you. it doesn't really matter what comes and what I have to do. Then the deity becomes very satisfied that, he feels like there's always someone there. He doesn't have to worry about, am I going to get any food today? Or my Pujari is not going to shower, I'm going to get hungry, or he's not going to, I wonder who's going to dress me today, maybe some of that boy is going to come stick spins in me every day. A new man will come. But if he knows he's got someone, then Krishna enjoys. He enjoys taking his darshan and seeing everyone and giving his... Because he knows all his necessities are cared for. It's like a child. His only business is playing. If he had to worry about getting his food, then he'd be in anxiety. He wouldn't enjoy it, wouldn't interfere with his enjoying it. So like that, as long as Krishna knows there's someone steady there, even if he doesn't do so much, but he knows he's prepared to do it, then Krishna is satisfied. So that should be our position. We should be prepared to do anything. Then Krishna will be satisfied. When he's satisfied, then anything can be achieved. He will recognize that service, and he will be equally reciprocal to you. Anything you want, anytime, he will be there. Anytime you're in danger, he will be there. He will completely look after you. You don't have to worry that you're sacrificing anything, or you have the idea of sacrificing or giving up. Krishna is giving you much more than... He's always just there. Anything you want is... Whatever he does will be for your best benefit. So, that is actually deity worship. It's actually caring for the deity. So a person who has that attitude, he knows how to worship the deity. If you don't have that attitude, you don't know how to worship the deity, then you have all these books. This is for people who don't know how to worship the deity. If you have that attitude, you know how to worship the deity. Even you may not be following all the rules regulations in the book, but that is actually deity worship. And these books are for people who do not know how to worship. But actually there are guidelines that we can take. If you have a good... we want to serve Krishna more, because if we know there's somewhere we can increase his service, then obviously we will also pick up these books and we will get information from them and learn how to apply some of those things to serve Krishna. So it's a very wide gap. How much we should offer, how much we should do, how much we should not do. And what Prabhupada has said and given us is also... Some people say, you just do what Prabhupada said. And Prabhupada kept it very simple. And he did. Prabhupada was very simple. Kept it very simple. I remember one time he was showing us how to worship the saligram. Because Mayapur was the first ISKCON temple to worship a saligram. And so Prabhupada said, get one saligram from a friend, you can worship him. So we had the saligram, and we bought some cloth, and Prabhupada said, I will show you how to dress. So I went to Prabhupada's room with Bhavananda and Jayapatak Maharaj myself. And Prabhupada was just sitting on his desk in his room in the Lotus building. And so he had the shaligram, and he had his tilak bowl there, so he took his tilak and he turned it upside down, and it was like a right little singhasan, and he fitted exactly, shaligram was sitting there. And then he picked up a matchstick and his tilak, and he made some tilak. He says, like this, and you can paint the deity, and you paint face like this, and he made a little face, a little mouth, and something. You do like this, but do it very nicely, he said. And he got the cloth, and he folded it like this, and put another piece around him, and then he took his garland off and he put it. He liked it. And then the garland fell down. He said, "Oh, you see, garland fell off. You know that Krishnadas Kaviraj, when he went to Madhamahanji, and got his blessings and the garland fell off. You see, he's accepting my worship. So it was completely simple, but it was beautiful, you know. He just did it on his desk. He didn't even move from his place, and he did a whole little puja. So he kept it simple, and he said, "You do like, but do it nicely, you know." And another time he told me they were going to worship a saligram in, I think, in New York temple. So he called me to his room. They didn't actually call me. Someone come and got me and said, "Prabhupada wants to see you." But he didn't actually want to see me. But luckily that devotee said that. But he was just, it was, I can't remember what year it was. It's when Brahmananda, I think Satchrup and Brahmananda were changing secretaries for Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was telling them that they can worship a shalagram in New York. So then he was saying something about you can get some information from Jananivas because he's worshipping. So this boy come down and said, "Prabhupada wants to see you." I went. I went upstairs, and this is another aspect of the story why I'm telling this. I was just about to do arati, and I just had my head shaved, and I had 12 tilaks on, and so I was all very fresh and clean. My cloth was clean, so I was just going to do that and let the boy come down. So I went up to see what Srila Prabhupada wanted. When I came in, he was glancing over me. I thought he was looking at something else, but he was very, very pleased to see, to look at me. He was glancing, and I thought he was looking at something behind me. I was conscious, but it was afterwards I actually sort of, as far as I could understand anyway, that he was actually pleased to see an appearance of the devotee with 12 tilaks, clean shaven and cloth, because generally, in those days, people just used to wear one tilak, and in Western countries it's cold, I suppose they don't put so much on their bodies, but in India, when you just have a charter on pujaris, they can wear 12 tilaks. He was, like he says in the Krishna book, that they look like jubilant peacocks or something, or like they've come from Vaikuntha when they're dressed in tilak. But he was pleased, so I'm just saying this because how you can also please by appearance. You can also please the spiritual master, and go in front of the deity like that. So that was just from the point of view of appearance. I'm adding that bit. As far as I can understand, it seemed to be like that. He was pleased to see someone with 12 tilaks and clean shaven. Anyway, he said to me that, I said, "You wanted to see me, Srila Prabhupada?" "No, I didn't want to." "Oh, yes," he said. Oh, yes, they're going to worship a shaligram in New York," he said. "So you write them some notes," he said. "You have some experience, so write some notes, but keep it simple. And just give them some notes so they can start. But keep it simple, all right? Keep it simple." So he was stressing, keep it simple, keep it simple. And we see practically what Srila Prabhupada was quite simple. Especially when we read Lilamrita in the early days, it was complete. You have a candle and you offer it 7 times and you give it to the next person. There's no mention at all of any purification or ajman or any mantra or anything like that. And so Prabhupada didn't give a lot of detail. He didn't give a lot of detail, which often turns out a bit frightening and confusing sometimes when there's too much detail. But obviously he knew it would come. He said he was going to give us a book. He said, "I'm going to give you a book soon on deity worship," but he never actually gave it. Then he asked Jayatirtha Maharaj to do one, and Jayatirtha did one, which was quite complete. It was quite complicated. Not complicated, but it was, compared to then, that standard then, it was a very, very elaborate form of worship. And I don't know how much Srila Prabhupada, I think he was, I don't know if he ever commented it on or anything, Srila Prabhupada. But it was either just before, I think just before I left anyway, so there was never much relation with Srila Prabhupada in that book as far as I can understand. Whatever he did, that we saw him do, was quite simple. It was quite basic. One time he asked me, he said, "How are you all worshipping deity?" And I said, "Well, we are, we bathe the deity." At that time, it's only a small Radha Madhava there. So I said, we polish the deities with tilak and lemon juice, and then we bathe with water. He said, what mantras are you using? You use any mantras? And I said, well, because we didn't really have any mantras at that time. There's no mantras available. Brahma Samhita prayers. I said, chant Brahma Gayatri, chant the Gayatri mantras. Oh, Gayatri. Om is there. Vedic, Om is there. Very good. What else you're doing? I said, we're chanting Chintamani prayers. That's all right. So then we dry the deity, and after he's bathed, we dry it. And at that point, you put tulsi leaves on Krishna's feet. And then you go. And I just give a quick description. And he said, actually, you don't have to bathe the deities every day, so you can bathe once a week if you like. But nice if you can maintain your daily standard. He said, you can also say your prayers in English. You can also say these prayers in English. If you don't know. So, I mean, what he did tell us was always very simple and there wasn't a lot of detail to it. But also that instance about the tulsi leaf, you won't find that in any bharati, any puja manual, actually. That is not time to offer tulsi leaves. You see that generally the tulsi leaves comes after the bathing, dressing, ornamentation. Then at that time you offer tulsi and flowers and things like that. But he said, rather, as soon as he's tried, yes, at that time you offer. Of course, when saligram puja, generally that will be the first thing you'll offer anyway. I don't know exactly what he meant, but I mean my own estimation of when I was thinking why he said like that, because it's not mentioned in any other parati in any way. That well, at that time Krishna is just completely naked. Actually, he's nothing. He's brand new, fresh. And the first thing you do, you offer tulsi. That is bhakti, Devi. Then Krishna is satisfied. That's one thing I was just thinking. Maybe why is it? At least if you give tulsi, Krishna will be satisfied from that. Another time, he was talking about saligram, and he said these saligram worship. He said this. It's mostly mantra. You know that this mantra, worshipping a mantra. He said the brahmanas, they will take that saligram, and they will worship that saligram. They will keep in box. He said they will get that saligram and they will do mantra. Then again they will put him in box, sleeping. He says, wake up, and then mantra, sleeping, mantra, sleeping, mantra. This is saligram puja. Mantra, sleeping. Then he started laughing. Because generally, I mean, when the brahmanas, they travel around, they just keep it in the pot. On the altar it's different because he stays there all the time, but in the house or they will travel, they will just keep their saligram, wake him up, do puja, put him to sleep. So he didn't give us a lot of, detailed information. And but then again, people say, well, why can't we just do what Prabhupada said, a real simple standard? But factually, if you want to follow Prabhupada's standard, according to his books, which are the most authoritative thing, I don't think anybody can come up to his standard. I certainly can't. Because in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Matter 12, that purport of the, when he's describing all the 64 items, Mahaprabhu was instructing Sanatana Goswami, I want you to write Hari Bhakti Vilas. Describe deity worship and how the deity is offered arti 5 times a day and offered food and put to bed and everything. And in the purport, Prabhupada says, as far as the artik is concerned, there should be a change of dress and flowers and eatables. So perhaps you learned with Maharaj, if you went through all these different 64 upachars and 64 items of worship and the different, he taught you 16 items of worship, I think. That's a standard worship. I think Maharaj taught you that. Then you can also do 12 items, 10 items, 5 items, like that. Panchupachar, Dvarashupachar, Dvarashupachar, Sodasopupachar. So these are like standard amounts of worship you can do. You can offer 2 upachars, 3, 5, 10, 12, 16. And like 16 is the standard for a temple. Any temple, you go to public temples, here everyone will be doing that, even other sampradayas, South India, they all more or less follow that. So the Upachar, 16 different types of worship, which is more or less receiving Krishna, making him welcome, offering him reception, then bathing him, dressing him up in ornamentation, flower garlands, incense, foodstuffs, and namaskar. So he's come and he's welcomed and he's made nice. He's fed and satisfied. And those 16 items are just that's all they're doing. Sometimes one temple varies a little bit from another. Basically, it's just those 16 things, what they're doing for Krishna, that's all. That's all that goes on in the puja, actually. You're receiving Krishna, you're welcoming him, you're offering him a nice seat, making him comfortable, offering him madhupaka, you give him a bath, make him fresh, offer a clean cloth, dress him up, make him look nice, give him nice food and let him relax. And then that puja's finished, and Krishna is just relaxing on the paryankasana, the couch, and then he just takes his lunch. That is what we are doing, that is puja, the whole puja. And as I say, all the different sampradayas, they will do that system. Maybe slightly different, one will be different positions, but it's all basically that. So these Sodasop upachars, 16 upachars, that's the full thing. And then when you get 12 upachars excludes the bathing and the dressing and two more. Anyway, the bathing and the dressing are excluded. That's the Dwadasa puja. So, in Prabhupada's purport, when he says as far as the artik is concerned, there should be a change of dress and flowers, it means that when you're offering a dress to Krishna, it comes in within the Sodasapa 16 upachars. It means you dress, it means you bathe, and you offer dress. Which means that before every artik, you have to do a complete worship of your deity. You have to offer 16 upachars. That is Prabhupada's standard, according to his books. If anybody wants to say, let's follow Prabhupada's standard, that is what you've got to do. Before every artik, you've got to give full worship. Change dress means you've got to give a bath and offer foodstuffs, and then you offer artik. Before every artik. So that's Prabhupada's standard, actually. 6 times a day you've got to worship your deity. So he has given actually although he didn't, he has given it there in his book. If you analyze him, he's given the top as much as you can do. But practically, when you show this, he tended to keep it quite simple. So I don't know who can maintain that standard, come up to that standard. Even temples are dressing 3 times a day. I think some temples big temples there.
3 times a day?
3 morning and then afternoon again they dress. Yeah. Then at night time they put in the night dress.
Or noon time?
Yeah. Because in the West sometimes not many people come, so they get 3 or 4 hours. They open again about 5 or 6 o'clock, I think, in London, maybe LA or something. They don't have an early darshan, so they get in a couple of extra hours. They open at 5 and they dress at least. That's a good standard. And then again at night time they dress, so it's 3 times. But here Prabhupada says 6 times. And you're giving bath and everything.
In my phone you do 2 twice. In
Actually, my phone we're doing 1, 2. See, with saligram we change also in the afternoon.
Oh, so it's 2 times.
We do a saligram puja in the afternoon. Change the saligram.
You bathing?
Only in the summer, when it's hot. When it's hot, we're bathing again in the afternoon.
But his dress is changed.
Dress is changed.
And Manasa Bhakti. At least Manasa Bhakti.
No, we practically changed. Oh, Islam. So, actually there is no limit to what you can do. So the question that often comes up, or comes up all the time, is, how should I worship this particular deity? So how to give an answer to that? It's very difficult. How should I worship this? Because to do that, you've got to be there in the temple. You've got to see their situation, place, time, and everything. How much help they got, what paraphernalia, what facility they have, and things like that. So it's encouraged that, or at least it's good to learn all this, the procedure, the whole procedure. Whether to put it, how you can put it into practice, everything, it may be something else. When Krishna Kachav finished his books, he said, well, what do you think of these books? Of this Panchvachaka Pradipad? And I said, if Prabhupada had seen these books, I think he would have said, when guests would come, he would have said, the important guests and big people, he would have said, have you seen our book? Have you seen our book? You see? Everything is here. You see all these mantras, everything is a procedure, he would say. He was like, Prabhupada was like that. He would have said, have you seen our book? And he would have said, yes, see what they're doing. He would have been very proud, and he would speak. And another time he may have just said, well, no, keep it simple, he would say. So it's difficult to actually know, exactly what to do. So if you really want to be safe, then you should do everything. You can do it. You can do manasik. See, what I generally do, for myself anyway, and what I may introduce, I want to do it in this new Panchatattva temple we're building. We have some facility there in the back. So I got one room for Pavanga Karma, so before you go into the deity room for purification and things like that. So what do I want to try and do? It's an experimentation, so I do it for myself more or less, but I will do it. We will try it and see how it goes. Is that we will have, like before you go into the deity room, we will have, you just have your Achman cup and a bowl, and in front there will be a big picture of your deity, your Panchatattva. You'll have Panchatattva, picture of Panchatattva and Radha Krishna, wherever you're worshipping. And you'll have your Guru's picture also. So then you'll do your Achman and do your preliminary purificatory processes, Bhuta Shuddhis and things like that. Naham Gluptonapati, I'm not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra. Whatever you do before you usually go in. And then then will come the dhyana. First is, Maharaj taught you the procedure, I presume. First you do Guru Puja, first the Guru Dhyanam, and the Manasa Puja, then the Bhaya Puja, or the actual Puja of Guru. So we will do that. You'll have your picture of Guru will be there, and you'll put him at the feet of Panchatattva, because the Dhyanam, or the meditation, is that one should meditate on at the lotus feet of his Guru, situated at the feet of the Panchatattva in Navadvip Dham. So I would like to have a picture or a painting or something like that of Navadvip with the Panchatattva, and then they will put their picture of Guru there. So that is their meditation. And then they will do Manasa Puja, and then the Bhaya Puja, the external puja. But Manasa Puja, Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends you should do 16 upacharas even for Guru. So, like if you do 16 upacharas for Guru, for Gauranga, and then Krishna, then you more or less done everything. So the pujari will have his picture of his Guru, and he will see that is a meditation. He's beneath the feet of Panchatattva, and then he will just have his just with water, and this will be his Manasa Puja, and he will just offer these upacharas into one other bowl, and he will just get a spoonful of water, and then he will begin. Idang Ashtamam Girinma Shagatam Eta Patyamam Inangam in Machmanyam. And like this, in about 2 minutes, or 2 or 3 minutes, he's finished that. Then he will see, because Gauranga's already there, and then he'll do the same for Gauranga. The Dhyanam Navadvip Dham, how it's shaped like the whole picture could be like that. It's shaped like a turtle, back of a turtle. And there's palatial buildings and the sound of kirtanas, there's rivers. So you could make a picture like that, and then Gauranga is there. So then you do the same for Gauranga. Same things. Idang Ashnam Kling Gorain Maj. Ita Patyam Kling Rinangyam. And then just offer 16 upacharas with water. It's like the Manasa Puja. And then if you're worshiping Radha Krishna also, you'll do that, and you have another picture of something like the meditation is Krishna sitting beneath the desire tree and surrounded by the gopas and things like that. So you have a picture like that. That'll be your meditation. Then you can just offer these 16 upacharas. So this should only take 2 or 3 minutes each, 3 or 4 minutes each. So that will all be done before you go into the deity room. That will be all your mantra and tantra and everything like that. And you can do that in a few minutes. And then you will just go in, and then no need to do anything. Especially if you've got larger deities, because it's very difficult to dress large deities and come back and offer pradyam and things like that. Invite the deities. But you just go in, and then you just do what you do to the deity, like you wipe the deity, bathe the deity, and dress the deity, and decorate the deity, without worrying about all the different mantras and procedures. Because it's already done. Manasa Puja is recommended. With it comes the satisfaction that the deities worship. You're meditating there, you're offering these upacharas. You're using water also, but when you become experienced, you don't even need the water. You can also use mantra. But the main thing is that it should be fixed in the mind, and you're offering these upacharas. But when it's finished, then you get some satisfaction. Deities worship. The satisfaction. Then you can go in and worship your deity, and you don't have to worry about all the rules and regulations that you're supposed to be doing, or you think you're supposed to be doing. Then you can just eat any chintam, ani prakara sadamastu kalpa bhiksha, and you start bathing. And it's a different atmosphere, because outside is a bit more ritualistic. So all the ritual is done outside, and then you just go in and you enter the deity room. Pay your obeisance to Janada peace and this is our Siddha Deha. You have to enter the deity room with a spiritual body. So our Siddha Deha mantra is that one should consider himself Lord and the straw in the street. more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense, nor is ready to offer respect to it.